Welcome to Arsenal Stories.
All right, so it started. So Deolu, our game against Everton on Sunday, who would you start and why?
I think I'll start exactly the same team that played Manchester United. I will start Eddie in front because he has proven himself so far, and Gabriel has had an injury starting this season, so I think we should ease him in. We're going to have a lot of games this week. We're having one midweek. We're having another one next week Sunday. It's Champions League, and we need to start as well as possible. So I would rather Eddie starts this game, and we'll transition into Gabriel for the midweek. I think the rest of the team picks itself. Odegaard in the center, in the middle. I will. That's a very controversial one now. I will want Kai to start because Everton is a mess. Let's not lie about that. Everton is a mess. And if you want Kai to perform, I think if he can't perform here, it'll be a tough one.
Problems is what?
Problems. It's a tough one to defend. Vieira is really chasing him on his heels. I see Vieira as a very, 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 very good alternative also to Kai, but it shows that Kai he's definitely not in the best of spaces right now. I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know if it's a new role that he's not used to. We need to put that in mind because we want him to play the Xhaka role, but let's do it this way. Xhaka was very good in that position. If he scores a goal, if Granit scores a goal, that's an added bonus to his position. But the funny thing now is that we want Kai to do way better than Granit in scoring goals and also being the person who would link up from defensive midfield to the attack at the same time. So I think that will be really, really tricky for him, and it will take time for him to bed into that role. If I could quickly jump into, I don't know if I'm supposed to, but jump into Thomas Partey's injury, I really blame I blame the coach. I blame Arteta because this is somebody who has always been injured, and now you bring him in a very demanding role to switching from the wings back into the mid. No, that was wrong. When he said he was injured, I wasn't shocked. I felt sad, but I was not shocked at all because what Thomas does in the middle, very, very, very few midfielders can do exactly that role. And he has this way of receiving the ball from the defense, calming play, and distributing it forward. He just knows how to wiggle his way from tight presses, and that is something that we rely on if we're going to be playing from the back. Other than that, I see the rest of the team. Gabriel at the back. Zinchenko starting, White also, Ramsdale and as the keeper. David Raya can't start now, probably Champions League. I don't mind seeing him there, but that would be very brutal to Ramsdale. Bringing us up to Champions League and the first Champions League game, he won't be there. So let's see how it moves, but definitely I want to see the same team that came in from the Manchester game play against Everton.
Okay. All right. How about you, Ofala? What do you think?
I don't know. Is it me or is your audio? It's quite twingy.
Really?
Deolu towards Deolu's was.
Oh, I heard him.
Were you hearing Deolu clearly?
Yes, I was.
Okay, it's a bit scratchy at my end, but I hear you.
I hear you clearly too.
Everton.
Yeah.
Okay. Everton on Sunday. We haven't beaten Everton at home in like 5 years. You know that.
Wow.
Even
You haven't beaten
yeah,
Everton
we
at
haven't
home.
beaten them at home.
Are you serious?
Wenger was the last coach to win Everton at Goodison, so we haven't
My
won them since
goodness.
Wenger left. Yeah.
Are you serious? Wow.
Ah, the audio is very bad for me.
Oh.
But you guys hear me clearly.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Very
Can hear
clear.
you.
Yeah, it's when you guys talk, it's quite scratchy. I didn't even catch what Oreva said. So please, can you go again, Oreva? He said something about Everton.
Oh yeah, I was saying that it's not just 5 years. Like we haven't won a Goodison since Wenger left, so I think that's more than 5 years.
We haven't beaten them at home at all anyway in 5 years. That was the last time we beat them was 5 years ago. So stats like that, I know, I mean, it's in football, it's a hoodoo, but I think it's there to be broken. They are not doing very well right now, so there is no better time than now to meet Everton. Who will
What
start?
God cannot do does not exist. What God cannot do does not
Say that
exist.
again. Oh yeah, it doesn't. So who is starting? Unlike Deolu, I think Gabriel Jesus is fit and should be starting right now. Relegate Eddie. I like Eddie, you know, but as long as Jesus is fit, I'll rather have Jesus starting ahead of him. I mean, Jesus is a nuisance. His nuisance value to defenders, it's quite high. So for that, I will take him. As regards Havertz, I've gotten to where I really don't want to criticize Havertz, you know, because I think Arteta had a vision of what he wanted to get out of him. It was supposed to be an upgrade on Chaka, you know, and he's supposed to bring in goals. He's not getting that yet. So I fear that all the criticism he's getting, you know, will make him lose his confidence. And I think right about now, Arteta should start considering, you know, starting him from the bench. Let him watch the games and come in, you know, he may just change something, you know, try that, you know. But knowing Arteta is going to start Havertz on Sunday. Who else? I think the rest of the team, like you said, picks itself. It's going to be Saka and Martinelli with Gabriel Jesus or what's his name, Ketia. Then Odegaard, Havertz, Rice. Gabriel is definitely, I think he's back in the back line because, I mean, the experiment Arteta was trying to do with Partey at right back, that's been taken out of his hands with Partey's injury. So I think he will go with what has always worked. So it will be Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, and White. By the way, is Tomiyasu back?
Yeah.
I think so, yes.
Anyone?
Yeah, he's back. It was just
He's
one
back?
game. It was just one game.
Okay. So
I mean, he played the second
then,
half of the game now, if I'm not wrong.
Second half of
say,
what?
I'm saying I like to.
did he play?
Yeah, he came on at one point.
Did he against Man U?
Come on.
I can't even remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he came on.
Okay.
At the end of the game.
Yeah.
So as regards Partey's injuries, I think unless someone has the elixir of life to give Partey, his real age is beginning to tell. You know, there's nothing you can do about it. But as long as he's fit, Arteta is going to play him because we play much better with Partey in the side. So I don't know. I mean, Deolu thinks Arteta is making a mistake playing him from that right back, but what Arteta wanted to do from the beginning was play that inverted, what do you call them, wing backs from both sides. When that didn't work, that dream died after Timber got injured. So he continued with Partey. Partey was the only other person in the team that could give him that. But that dream has died with Partey's injury. So Gabriel is back in the back line, I believe. We're going to play back four. Then, are we treating everything should I treat everything you listed?
No,
once?
we can move on to the last point after Oreva has spoken about what he thinks. Yeah.
All right, Oreva.
Yeah, basically, I think the lineup will be the same. The only thing that might change will be Jesus starting ahead of Nketiah. But I feel like every other thing will be the same, barring any last-minute injuries. That will be same thing, same squad really from Man U. I don't think any other thing would change. Yeah, you were going to say?
No, I was just thinking, sorry for interrupting, but I was just thinking,
No, it's fine.
Considering that we have PS Eindhoven on Wednesday, and they're not any team to be sniffed at. I mean, I would say PS Eindhoven is a stronger team than Everton is right now. And if we play all of those people, all of our first team against Everton, and then 2 days later we're pushing them against Eindhoven, and then Sunday we have Tottenham, who are beginning to look like a little bit like a different beast now. Don't you think we should be resting anybody?
While I get that, first of all, I feel like the season just started. Everybody's still on their top gears, so most likely what the plan would be that we'll try to kill the Everton game as fast as possible, and such that we're able to make substitutions earlier than we usually would. So I mean, if by halftime or like 60th minutes already 3-0 or 3-1 or 4-1, and then we can easily make subs and then rest guys. But I don't think Arteta at this stage of the season will start sacrificing one competition for the other. So that's why I really think the team will just be the same.
Okay, I hear you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, how about Partey? What do you think about Partey and his injuries?
So the thing is, what's the word now? It is very weird and should I say unsatisfying when you have a Rolls Royce that you cannot use when it's time to race with your guys, because every time you need to race is having one fault or the other. Then what's the point of it? So as much as Partey is like the next thing since sliced bread and the next best thing since fried plantain or something, the fact that he constantly gets injured at crucial periods. So if you remember last season also, he missed the games, I think 2 of the games against Man City with injury. He missed, I think, 1 of the games against Man United also with injury. And I think he missed 1 of the Tottenham games. I'm very certain he played in 1, the 2-0, which we won. So, like, what's the point of having such a talented player when he keeps getting injured at crucial times and against crucial teams? It really just kills the momentum of the team when you look at it. And I feel like that is one of the major reasons why Arteta signed Rice, because he knows that as much as this guy might not give me exactly what Partey does, but he'll still deputize in that role very well. And the drop-off from the absence of Partey will not be so great in the team. And that's really what Rice gives us. So the truth is, when Partey is fit, he will definitely play. But the good thing now is when he's not around, we don't feel his absence as much. Like in the game against Manchester United, we didn't feel his absence as much as we would have last season. Because I mean, last season what would have happened is maybe Jorginho would have played there, or somebody else would have played in that position, and it wouldn't have gone so well. So the good thing now is that we have a good deputy to cover up when he's absent. So yeah. Okay.
I mean, those are good points now. But generally though, for you guys, just throwing it out there, and that's what I want to do with the third question is
generally selling general.
Oh yeah. English is hard. Anywho, um, we can see that Everton are having problems scoring, right? I mean, when I watched the highlights in their game against Fulham, it was like, I don't know, the post was right there, but somehow the ball would, like somebody has put jazz in that goal.
They couldn't see it, that's why.
I'm like, what's going on? So considering that Everton is not scoring, considering the amount of chances that they're creating, because they are creating chances, it's just the conversion of those chances. And us, on the other hand, not being able to keep clean sheets. How do you think we should tackle at least a toothless Everton? Because if we concede against a toothless Everton, like we did against Fulham, because I don't know how we conceded against Fulham, but if we have a situation where, how do you think we should set up, especially defense-wise against Everton that's creating the chances? How would you? I'm looking for a way to put this question. How would you set up the defense, or do you think us leaking goals is more of a goalkeeper issue than the team defending, having a defensive cohesion? Because most of our goal leaking and lack of defensive awareness, I would say, came from us playing Partey at the right. Partey was not as effective as covering up, as Rice. Sorry, I said Rice. As White,
Right.
Is, or Tomiyasu is. Both of them are better defensively in that sense, and you can see the advantage that that was taken advantage of with Nottingham when they released Elanga, and we could also see that I think he also played when we played against Fulham, right?
Yeah.
And there was that lack of cohesion, even when Saka played that misplaced pass, because in his head he was expecting Partey to do the same thing that White would have done, or to at least appear in that position that Rice would have done. If it was White that was there, I highly doubt that pass would have been misplaced, because they have not yet built that sort of symbiotic relationship, Saka and Partey, that he and White have built, together in that. And you can see that it was a lot better against a much stronger Man U, because you cannot tell me that Man U how they played against. Yes, they've not been playing very well, but I don't think that you would say that Man U at this time is playing worse than Fulham is. So how would you, for us to, what do you think we would need to do to not leak goals right now?
Okay, so looking at the goals that we have conceded recently, I'll say they're down to two major things: errors and lack of concentration. Fulham first goal, I mean, I had just sat down on my system trying to watch the match, and I'm like 1-0, and I'm wait, how? And when I saw the replay, I was shocked to see how Saka just gave the ball away. And your analysis is correct. He just blind passed to a space where he expected somebody to have been. Against Manchester United, we were victims of a lot of counter-attacks, and that game could have swung anyway. I mean, yes, we won. When we won, the goal line looked very comfortable, but it was far from it. It was really far from it, in the sense that Manchester United just did one thing: hold you back. Whenever they get small space, Rashford is hogging the lines. The through ball to Rashford, he comes in and he does what he knows how to do best. And I see Everton doing exactly the same thing. I mean, we're talking about Sean Dyche as their coach. He will keep a very, I mean, to be a very low block game. He's going to pack as many people into the defense. They will all play behind the ball and be ready to hit us
on the counter.
And they'll be looking forward. Yeah, and they'll be looking forward to set pieces, crosses, corners, and free kicks just from the front of the box. So that is what they will do. All we have to do is control the game, hold the ball, be dynamic in the way we try to penetrate the attack. And if you remember the game we won, would see that Zinchenko came into the midfield, not just into the midfield, he came into the the right part of the midfield, and that was where he gave the through to Saka. I mean, we had to do an overload because they were doubling up on Saka already in the game we lost, and I was looking for. I didn't just know what to do about that. I mean, anytime Saka is about 2 players on him, he takes the ball back to the midfield, and the attack dies. And they just had one very good set play to score. So I think then also using our away record, we're doing quite well away, and we're conceding less goals away too for some reason, which is very, very intriguing. We concede more at home, which is not good. But I feel like it's easier to deal with the home issues than away issues, and I'm happy that we're doing better away. So for that, I don't think the game will be much of an issue. I know we should get an early lead that will calm Everton's depth down and to allow us to control the game more and more. But we just have to be more dynamic in our approach, which makes me feel like saying that starting Eddie feels like a very wrong idea because you can't start Eddie and be dynamic. I mean, he's a point man. Gabriel Jesus will be way more confusing to deal with. But I still want to start. I want to start Eddie. I rather Jesus for the Champions League game because I was just looking at PSV's last games, and God, man, we beat Rangers 5-1.
Yeah, I told you that they're tough. They're a tough team. They're not going to be a walkover. So that's
tough.
Yeah, for me, I'm thinking more of. I'm thinking more of playing Trossard either in Havertz's area or in Martinelli's area, because when you have a team who's packing themselves or playing a low block game, you need very technical players here who can play in tight spaces, play tight passes or play passes in tight areas. So I'm just thinking, because and someone who can also convert, but their conversion rate is high. You saw the one he did, Havertz did when we were playing Manchester United. I mean, he basically missed the ball, and I think, like Deolu said, I think it's a confidence issue. But we need, I think, what's his name, Trossard is more effective playing in Martinelli's area or playing in that Havertz role up, a bit up front, because he can spray. He reminds me of Santi Cazorla. He can give us those passes. He can score himself. He can give you.
That's Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard. Yeah, when Martinelli
didn't we start him last week?
You played him in the middle now. He played in the middle.
He played in the 9 role, I think.
9. Yeah, I think he played in the 9 role.
Yeah, he played 9.
So for me, I think he's more effective on the left. Or if you play Martinelli for maybe the first half, then you now put him in Martinelli's place. Or if you play Havertz for a certain amount of time, then you put him back on, because
But really, as in Trossard for Havertz is something I have been thinking about, and it's exciting to think about, but I don't know how it will manifest in reality. But yes, that's a very, very good one. But that also relegates someone like Vieira further behind the game. So it is good that we're having competition for places. It's a wonderful thing. And we're still trying to calculate who is the best man for each position, which makes me feel like, we will have people to rotate for the many games that we'll have.
Games that we have. Really many games that we have right now. Yeah. But the rest of you, yeah.
There are only like 2.
Ofala and Oreva. Before we move on to
there are only like 2. There are only like 2 options, not like 2. There's only one option. The option is take your chances when you get them. If in 15 minutes you score 3-0, they are not fighting for anything. And as you guys have said, they are going to obviously play a low block. And why I think that Arteta would still start Havertz is because Everton has a very tall midfield. And so Havertz would also help with the whole height thing if we need to throw balls forward. and that's where he has the advantage over Trossard and Vieira in that position. So winning area balls is one thing he has been doing well. At least, if for every other thing he has been doing wrong, winning area balls, he has been doing that very well. When he loses a duel, he's angry. So, so yeah, there's that. Yes, but I mean, to be fair, if we're in control of the game and we take our chances, I really don't see Everton posing much of a threat. They are not an attacking threat, to be fair. As long as they get their set pieces and maybe a half chance here, a half chance there, which they might use, but they might now take advantage of. But really, if we take our chances when we get them, look at Man U game, for instance. We could easily have been 3-1 up by the 60th minute with chances we're missing. So, again, all we need to do is take our chances and we should be good.
I think there's a lot to be happy about, A lot of people don't think so, but the fact that everybody we meet right now parks the bus against us. Even Manchester United came and parked the bus and just depended on hitting us on the counter. So, yeah, if we're able to concentrate, control the game, like you said, Oreva, I think that's the key. Everton is always there for the taking, really. I don't remember a time where they were so good that we should worry about them, but somehow we always end up, especially when we go to their home, we end up mostly drawing the game, really, because I don't think I'll have to look up the stats. I don't think we've lost to them that often. Yeah, they beat us last season, but
1-0.
Other than that, yeah,
I think
they did.
I think we've had the highest victory. We've won. I think Everton is the team we've beaten the most in the Premier League. I'm not sure.
They deserve it.
Yeah. It's just it's just the last 5 years.
No, they deserve it.
They deserve it now. They will now want to use us to do new owner bounce if I'm not there.
Which is what they did last season. It was Shonda's first game.
Yeah.
This time you guys head out the story.
Okay.
So I don't worry, really. I think we're going to beat them.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the positivity.
3-0.
What?
3-0.
3-0. Oh, okay.
3-0. I'm bold enough to predict it.
Okay. 3-0. Yeah, I'm thinking like 2-1. 2-1 if we don't take care of
they won't score us. So
they're not going to score us.
Okay. I like the confidence. All right. So how do you see us? I'm happy because when they were renewing Saliba and Ramsey and Saka, I was like, why is nobody talking about Odegaard? He signed for quite a while now. I mean, he signed up with us for quite a while. They renewed Gabriel and somebody else. I can't remember. Now we still had nobody was talking or saying anything about Odegaard. But I'm happy to say that Fabrizio Romano said that the feedback from Odegaard camp is good, that he wants to stay, as well as Ben White also. So I'm happy that we're tidying up these sort of talents and early and quick. In fact, I wish we could be like Chelsea and tie them up for 8 years or something. But
right about now, where do they want to go? Where do they want to go? If they don't sign, where do they want to go? Arsenal is the best thing alive right now. So Odegaard is our captain.
I tell you, they want to pay 200 million for Saka.
We will take the money. It's money. It's good money. It's business.
You see how you're saying, man? It's only clubs like maybe.
No, if the money is that good, if the money is that good, why not take it? 200 million. Why the hell not? They love strikers. Even Osimhen. I'm sure we can buy Osimhen for 100 for thereabouts and keep change.
And then who would replace Saka?
Who will replace Saka? We'll find someone for 200 million. We'll replace him. But don't worry about it. We're not selling.
Anyways, but what do you guys think about this renewal? I'm happy that we're doing it quick and we're doing it early. and it also increases their value. So if you're coming to price the market now, it's not going to be anyhow pricing. Like they came and told us who was it? Like we sold Van Persie for 24 million, was it? In this day and age, see how much they sold. What's his name? Harry Kane. In this day and age, Van Persie will be like at least 60 million. Are you mad? Highest goal scorer. At least. And I don't even think he was 30 when we sold him to Man U. Was he up to 30 at that time?
He was. I think he was on.
I think it was like 29 or thereabout.
A whole Van Persie. Yes, he had injuries or whatever. But you were just like Harry Kane. You were sure of goals, very sure of goals, and that sold him for 24 million. I was so bored. So I'm happy that we're doing this renewal. Yeah.
Yeah. So so it's obvious now that for a while now, Arsenal have been very, very organized in how they deal with things. I am very, very sure on the table or on the wall of the CEO, he has timelines on when to start negotiating, if negotiating falls up at this point, or to sell the person off, and what metrics are we going to use to judge to renew the contract of players. Because I mean, somebody said something today that I listened to and said we should not reward contracts with what they can do, what we think they can do, but rather what they currently are doing. So you could say, he's going through a purple path right now. Maybe he'll get better down the line, so let's sign a new contract. No, he's doing quite well right now, and once he's not doing as well, we'll sell him off. We'll tell you thank you for yourself and we move. Because as much as we love our players, we should also remember like it's a very big business, and we need to handle it like a good one. I mean, I will never miss any opportunity to bash Man United, but I mean, somebody said they have more statements now than wins, and it shows how very scattergun approach they're using right now in Manchester United. I mean, it's weird. It's just not working right now, and we were there at one point in time, not too long ago, and right now we look like one of the best run clubs in the Premier League right now, and that's exciting for us. So I'm happy for the contract, and I know many more people out there. There are many more conversations happening on that to keep the core of the squad together and seeing who will let go, who we're going to bring in, and I'm sure there are very many discussions happening underneath to get things going well.
Okay, yeah. I mean, now that you raised Manchester United, that was like a segue into the other. If nobody else has anything to say about the negotiations going on, I was like, what's going on there, Seth? Maguire that seems to have scored the highest own goal scorer in the England squad. You have Anthony and the charges, and you've got Sancho. It's like, what's going on at that place? Late wants to join us. Okay, no problem.
I never lose an opportunity, to laugh at Manchester United, but as regards Harry Maguire, I really am sorry for Harry Maguire. I don't know if any of you saw the statement from his mom yesterday.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
None of you saw. There was a statement from his mom yesterday, talking about all the abuse her son is getting, how it's not fair. And I really felt for her. I really felt for Harry, I think Manchester United is not protecting him, really, because, they hung him out to dry, let's face it, taking the captainship away from him, because they could easily have kept him on the bench and still leave him as captain. But right now, he's back in the team under a new captain. Yeah.
So I'm saying, but they actually offered to sell him, and he decided to stay behind.
Exactly. That's where I was about to go.
If he had gone to a less pressured team and built his career from there back, I mean, Southgate has assured him that he will always. I mean, he's not playing much for Manchester United.
So sorry, who wanted to buy him? Deolu.
West Ham wanted to
Deolu,
buy
who
him.
wanted to buy? It was only West Ham, and I actually thought there has to be something wrong with West Ham to consider buying Harry Maguire. Really,
I felt so too. But
there weren't many takers.
Weird.
But
There weren't many takers, and I think they did that negotiation with disdain. That was why he rejected them. They didn't take him serious. Why would anyone buy Harry Maguire right now in the Premiership?
to be
So,
fair to him, yeah.
if anybody Maguire, and at the same time, a lot of people are giving him a lot of stick for his performances. Aren't these things not related in the sense that he's actually being very, very, I don't want to use the word rubbish, but underperforming. He's underperforming greatly. I mean, if it's the own goal he scored against Ramsdale in England, Scotland, it was weird. He didn't even need to stick his leg into that. I don't know whether it's a mentality thing that he has dropped off and he needs time out. I don't know if he's having issues at home.
It's his village people.
No, I think his village people are like perplexed, like, man, we can't even do this much.
It's his village people, because anything that can go wrong when he's on the field goes wrong.
I'm telling you. Have you seen that clip on Twitter when that the Ghanaian parliament they're using him as like a reference, and they're showing clips of him tackling his own teammates? There was even another one where Andre Onana was like, "What's wrong with you? How can you be playing this kind of ball?" Like he just like allowed.
Hey, Onana went at him.
Yeah, I'm like, so why you not? Because for me, if I and he's earning mad money, by the way, 190k a week. If I was him, or if I were him, I'll ask to be transferred. There's no shame in going to maybe a shrink or going to like a lesser club. You'll be the star of the show, and then you gradually ease yourself back into playing. When this thing started happening, it's not now. It's not just this season. It's like this is a 3-season long problem. At that time, he was still decently hot commodity. Sorry, someone said.
Yeah, when he came on for the Arsenal game, I mean, Arsenal fans were excited. That was sad. That was really, really sad.
Oh yeah, I cheered him on.
It was weird. I mean, so it's
wicked people. You are very wicked. Good evening, everyone.
Lase, what's up?
No worries. I think this, except you decided to join this group, but this group is like for the people that want to come in that are doing monthly clips. You are the weekly people. Part of the
I get.
Well,
I just wanted to the network, at least it's favorable today.
Yeah, finally. I think this platform is better because we've not had any of those issues that we had on the other one.
Fantastic. Yes. Fantastic. I hope you're all doing great.
Yeah.
Good. Am I allowed to contribute?
Sure. What is it?
Of course.
Yeah. Yes.
The issue of Harry Maguire, it's quite unfortunate.
Wow.
His team has been bad and bruised. If the coach really likes him, maybe it's a serious problem. The media is waiting for him to fail. Waiting to skin him, and then keeps going like his village people after him. The own goal against Everton. It's a normal thing every defender does. try to put in your leg and see if you can change the direction of the ball. Unfortunately, the ball decided to go into his own net. So Maguire actually came in highly rated. If we all remember, Man City actually wanted to sign him before Man United paid an outrageous sum to Leicester.
From Leicester
Yes.
City.
Yes,
That was after they won the
Manchester
Premiership.
Exactly. No, not after. He wasn't a part of that team. It was later. The team that won the Premier League was Robert Huth and the Jamaican man, the captain. What's his name? The black captain. The both of them were over 70 years if you combine their ages together. The center back pair.
West Morgan.
Was it Duncan? Yeah?
West Morgan.
Morgan, thank you very much. He came later after they won the league, and then I don't know, maybe a season or two he was outstanding, and they felt he was worth the amount they paid for him. But the major problem I think he has been having is a lack of self-confidence, and then Manchester United placed too much responsibilities on him. You brought the player in within a few months. You gave him the captain armband. You made him your captain. You entrusted him with so much responsibilities. He became one of the most influential players. How? A player who has not earned the right to get to that level. He went to Greece, attempted to bribe a police officer, and then Maguire they made him too big at a very early stage. He needed to have earned it. He didn't earn it. And then with much responsibilities comes much expectations. He couldn't live up with the expectations. And then Manchester United has a general problem. And they found Maguire at the center of the problem. So Maguire has been the obvious scapegoat for some time. But if Maguire were to play in a team that is less inconsistent, like for England, you would all agree with me that Maguire has been fantastic for England over the past 3 years. Maguire is putting up. In fact, I wouldn't say he put up a bad performance. It's just the own goal. Maguire has been the most consistent English defender for 3 years. I don't think there's any other player you can mention in that back line that has been more consistent than Harry Maguire. When he plays for England, it's fantastic. When he comes back to Manchester United, he becomes a terrible player. So I think the whole issue around Manchester United is also affecting him as a player. And I expected him, like you said, I expected him to move on. At least if they had negotiated 150 with West Ham, it was about money. Everybody wants to stay at Manchester United because they sign you and they pay you outrageous sums. I was looking at the Arsenal wage bill the other day. They are doing a very wonderful job with the way they are negotiating salaries with these players. Some earn 75, the likes of Fabio Vieira. If Man U had signed Fabio Vieira, they would have given him 120, 150. And in the end, you feel his surplus requirement, you want to let him go, and he will tell you, I'm not going anywhere. You have to give my money and I'll stay out my contract. So that's the issue with Maguire. If he takes his own dignity into consideration and his football growth, he should move on, go to another team, compete, and then earn back your rights to the respect that was once given to you. Earn it back. For now, he's just an object of caricature. Andre Onana wanted to use him as a scapegoat. Everybody, if you want to be loved, just take a dig at Maguire. The friendly game, Maguire wasn't really to blame for what happened. He wasn't really to blame for what happened. But Onana came at him and was shouting. He shouted at him seriously. That was Onana's first game for Manchester United. His first game. Everybody it's easy to insult Maguire, so he wanted to tag along and play according to the gallery. And I think it's. I
think what happened in that particular case, Lase, sorry to interject. I think what happened in that particular case was Onana came in. Onana was the only person in that team that didn't look at Maguire and see Skipo. You understand? Because I mean, every other person on the field was played under Maguire as captain. So Onana came in and never met him as captain. So he went at him as he would go at any other defender he thinks is slacking.
But if you notice, Maguire, the ball didn't even go, and Maguire was actually not the person who actually made the error. He was blaming him for not following up. And then, but I think he overreacted. Or maybe he didn't take it personal, maybe. But for the person that Maguire is, and then we see how people attack him every day, we might be wrong, but it's right to say that he took a dig at Maguire because it's the easiest thing to do in the team. And he must have been following Manchester United. And everybody who knows Man U knows Maguire is a disaster. I don't know. That's my take. I think we should
no matter
do the right thing and move on in January.
So
I think we
no
should
matter
move on
how
and go out
much
on
try to absolve him from the blame from for all the things he did, we all end up saying he needs to leave, he needs to go. I mean, if you remember last season when oh my god, I forgot his name now. Gosh, our defender, it happens a lot. Scored an
Mustafi.
In
Gabriel
last season.
Gabriel scored an own goal against Fulham.
Saliba scored an own goal.
Saliba scored an own goal. Yes, thank you very much, Saliba. And the Arsenal fans clapped.
He was cheered.
They cheered him on, like, don't worry.
Yes, fans on.
Oh
yeah.
And because we expected much more from him. I do not know if any of us remember this defender, Titus Bramble.
Bramble, very well.
When I was in school.
Of course.
Bramble, the one that has a build like myself.
Like ourselves.
Yeah, he has a build like us.
Yeah, so it was a comical defender. The first question is asking, how will somebody as
Wigan Athletics, I think,
end up in Premier League? But the thing is that he must have one time performed so well, and they would have liked him. And tiny things happen. Arteta said something about Granit Xhaka this last season. He said he came back fitter. And one of the things about coming back fitter is that your decision making is better. You know, that extra step, that extra punch, all these things come better when you go back to the training ground. You work on yourself, you work on your fitness, you work on your mentality. The Arsenal coaching crew, I mean, there's one coach now who just works on the mentality of the people, the players. And these things are very, very important. Cristiano Ronaldo made the mess of the whole situation in Manchester United, saying things like training is bad, the equipments are old, and when you watch Arsenal's welcome back video, when the players are coming back for a new season, and you see the tiny details that the medical staff checks and everything, you know that these tiny things will go a long way. I mean, Eddie has buffed up. People are saying Vieira should go hard weight. Maybe that's not his path. Maybe just he's more agile on the ball.
But he's even looking stronger now. He's looking stronger now.
You know, just right, learning just how to take the tackles in. When Keyword, the defender, came in, one of the things that annoyed me initially in the first few games was anytime he was tackled, he would stay on the ground expecting the referee to blow a foul. And if he knows anything about Arsenal, referees don't care about something. Stand up and in. So
I think he has learned his lesson now.
He should have. So Harry should take a step. There's no shame taking a step out of the firing line. Go to another Premier League team that would accept you. Like you say, cut down your wages. If you love the game, if you play for the game, do it. Do something, And that is why I'm sorry I'm jumping up and around. Nicolas Pepe, I really liked him. I wish he had a second chance. But it's quite obvious that he wasn't ready to put in a level of work. And that's why he's finding himself as far away as Turkey. I mean, he had the season in France, same place that Folarin Balogun went and was able to command a higher fee for his one season in France. Nicolas Pepe was in France and he didn't do as much, so nobody was rating him. I mean, if he had banged in enough goals, the team would have kept him. The team that would have negotiated for him to be there. So Harry should just leave that place. Manchester United is a mess, and they will pour the mess on him. Go somewhere else, do your thing, and get paid, and then play the game you enjoy that you want to. That's why it's still
Exactly.
about high.